What do you think of robots?
For me, robots can possibly change the world. I mean, these intelligent machineries, they with their like with the way they work and the way they can change jobs in the future. I I believe robots could be the new leaders of the world, and they might also be able to replace humans as well. Because what if in the future humans no longer exist and robots will take over because of how smart they are and how well they work. But so you can tell that they are much better than humans if if they are advanced enough in the future. But for now, humans are still the leaders of the earth, but robots are slowly taking over as more and more modernized versions of them are being created.
Okay. So yeah, 30 minutes to one. It's okay. 30 minutes to one. Okay, it's okay. So now let's look back at this one. We have some new words. Okay. Is there any difficult words that you don't know?
No.
No. Okay, you know all right. Okay. About the robot. Okay. So now, okay. Did you watch any cartoons related to robots in your childhood?
Well, yes, I do. I did watch a cartoon during my childhood. I remember this one Adult Swim cartoon called Futurama, and there's this funny looking robot man with big and wide yellow eyes. He speaks with a funny voice, but he doesn't act like what any robot would do. He has the feeling of a human, and he's also very funny. Unlike most robots who are emotionless and barely do anything to interact with humans, unlike the robot from Futurama. And the way that he moves and interact with objects just feels so natural and different from what a robot does nowadays.
Okay, good. And then here. Will you be comfortable if you are in a car driven by a robot?
Well, to be honest, I'll be fine with that. I mean, I know a lot of people would be scared and decline having a robot as their driver. But for me, I trust robots. Since they're intelligent after all, that means they can drive well and they have a better possibility at avoiding accidents rather than human, right? Plus, they know all the rules of traffic because I know some humans that don't really know every single traffic rules and that's why there are many accidents nowadays. But with robots taking the steering wheel, I believe that I believe that they'll cause less vehicle accidents and I'll gladly have them as my taxi driver in the future.
Taxi drivers in the future. Okay, so that's it. Now let's return to about study. Okay, so now let's look back at the study. Those let's look first at the study. Okay. We have this here study topic. Okay. So it's the words and study. Here, study. So now some question regards in study. Okay. What do you study?
Well, I study a wide variety of subjects, ranging from math, English, literature, to some rather odd subjects like physical activities or music or art or even IT, where you interact with computers and learn how to code and stuff. It's very
Okay.
interesting that a school like that can operate with many and weird and odd subjects. I remember there's one subject in my school that has therapy come to class and they talk about random topics and
Okay. So what do you find most interesting about your studies?
what I found most interesting about my studies are the teachers themselves. Unlike the teachers from past times, these guys they know humor since they're millennials, and with that kind of humor they can entertain the class even more, just to get all the students' attention on their lessons. And with that, with that, that is the reason why a lot of students in my class are smart, are doing well at schools, thanks to the teachers being interactive with the students.
Okay. So what was your favorite subject as a child?
As a child, my favorite subject has always been English. Since despite I'm not from an English speaking country, I've had a passion of speaking English ever since I was young. Since when I was studying my mother language during my childhood, I found it a bit difficult. Like, why does our language has those unnecessary lines and tiny question marks and or dot at the bottom of each letters? I find it kind of ridiculous. But when I look at English, hey, the words are simple. The words are simple, and there's a letter Z, which is which is why I started to speak English more and more. Even my brother had the same idea, and thus the two of us speak English. Has been speaking English at home ever since I started to learn the alphabet.
Mm,
Even everyone in my class are is
excellent. Okay, so what kind of school did you go to as a child?
well, I went to Luntiven Primary School, a
Yeah.
school that I'll never forget since it's the second best school I've gone to. They have a cafeteria full of delicious snacks, and all the kids in the class that I've been to are pretty friendly. Plus, back in fifth grade, I was the popular kid. Everyone respected me
Yeah.
because I was smart. I was the smartest in my class. I
Uh,
got all the girls coming to my table asking me about these simple math questions. I'll be like, be my guest. And even the
okay.
kids are, and even the first and second grade kids, they respected me as well. Every time they're eating snacks like toonies or toonies or oishi, I'll come at them and sit and kindly ask, "Can I have a little chip, please?" And the kids will give me the entire bag.
Okay. So, do you think your country has an effective education system?
Well, my country is not too different from any other countries. The education systems has been the same for all the countries around the world.
Hmm.
Since it's just the typical learning and then taking tests and then learning and then taking bigger tests and to be honest, I think we need to change the education system just so it can be better and also stress-free as well, since the current one is causing too many stress to all the students, which is why suicide rates has been increasing higher and higher every year.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can see. So what is more important to you? The teachers or all the students on your course?
Well, though I respect teachers, the students are the most important parts to your education, since
Mm.
since they're the main resource for you to make new friends. Because when you were young, you don't usually make friends with random strangers on the street. But on your first day of school, that was where you make your own friend. It's from the students themselves. Not only you can make friends with them, you can ask whenever you have problems about your homework, you can just ask them and they'll kindly provide you with the answers. Like buddies,
Mm.
Plus, they can be like you. They're also very relatable, and that's why I have a lot of besties in my school at the moment.
Okay. So how much time do you spend studying every week?
I think about 2 or 3 hours, since don't study that much, even though I supposed to be studying longer because I'm in high school. But for me, high school hasn't been hasn't been my biggest problem yet, even though almost everyone is seeing high school as the bane of their existence.
Yeah.
But for me, high school, eh, it's kind of a piece of cake. Because my math homework, they're easy. And the tests so far, they're easy.
Okay.
Even the guy who sit next to me, who always play games in class every day, is doing pretty well at school. He's getting good grades every test.
Okay, I see. So the next question for this topic is, how do you usually travel to school?
Well, I usually travel to school by my parents' motorcycle. Since
Ah,
my school is very far, located in District 1, while my home is located in District 7. So walking is never going to be a good option unless I wake up extremely early in the middle of the night.
yeah, okay.
Ah, and my parents are my and there's an advantage of studying in a school far away, since my parents also work far away. The company they work in is also located in District 1,
Wow.
which is suitable for me and them to go to work or school every day on their motorcycle.
Okay, that's
But they got a new plan. But they've think of a new plan of letting me learn how to drive for the first time.
you never ride?
Well, not really, just a little bicycle, or should I say bicycle, since I don't know how to ride a bicycle.
Really?
Yeah, kind of
Oh,
awkward.
okay. So how can you take your girlfriend to school in the future?
I must take a driving lesson. Ah,
Yeah, that's right.
that's a must.
Okay, so now the last topic. Let me see what's the home. The topic home. This is the last topic. Okay, so let's come with the topic home. And also the last topic for speaking part one. Okay, so it's in home, accommodation, living place. Okay, so who do you live with?
I live with my parents and my big brother. My mother and my father, they're very hardworking people. They spend more than the hours of an average working person every day
Oh,
in a company that is far from their home. They usually come home at maybe eight in the afternoon, which
wow.
is very, very late.
Yeah.
And which is why my brother is always the cook in my house. And to be honest, his food isn't too good.
Okay. So how long have you lived there?
I've been living in my house for roughly 15 years.
15.
The house I'm living in is the second one. My first house was located in a different city.
Wow.
But I only lived there for about 3 years because that house isn't too modern, and the bed is pretty itchy. So I'm glad that we moved to a new home in a better city, which is Ho Chi Minh City.
Uh,
And I'm glad that my home has been modernized now.
yeah, okay. So, do you plan to live there for a long time?
Well, of course, I love my house. I'm not gonna leave it, even though I've been planning to study abroad.
Oh,
But I feel like I don't want to leave this beautiful house yet. It's it's such an opportunity that I don't want to let it go. To dwell in this modernized house with a large TV, comfortable bed, and a toilet, not and a toilet seat, not a toilet without a seat, if you know what I mean. Who would
okay.
want to live in a house with a toilet without a seat? Because that would be just uncomfortable and dirty. Plus, it's a three-story house. You can't deny I'm living in a three-story house, and we also have a very big Buddha statue on the top floor.
Oh,
Because even though my parents are not religious at all.
okay. So, mm, which room does your family spend most of the time in?
Well, though most families spend their time in the living room,
Living
uh,
room.
we we don't we don't interact that much together. We always spend our time in our bedroom, just on our phones, cycling through new Facebook or Twitter posts and watching YouTube or TikTok or
Okay.
well, I share the same bedroom with my brother, and we usually share meals together,
Uh,
which develops a pretty good brotherhood relationship between me and him.
oh,
Also why which and that also helped me develop my English speaking skills.
okay. So, are the transport facility to your home very good?
Well, they're just two motorcycles and a broken bike. The two motorcycles that my parents bought, they're pretty fast and very modern as well.
What
But and
the
then
public transport?
public transport,
Public
we
transport
don't.
to your house? Yeah.
Yep, yeah. Well, usually though, when my parents' motorcycles aren't at present, they usually go to grab a taxi or call Grab.
Okay. Yeah, I see. So, do you prefer living in a house or a flat?
Obviously, a house. Who would want to live in a flat? They're tiny. A house. It can be more than one floor. You can have 2 floors, 3 floors, or even more. You can have a tower as a house. A flat is too tiny to live in for a nuclear family like me.
Oh, okay. So, please describe the room you live in.
Well, the room I live in, I kind of like it. It has a big bed to fit me and my obese brother. It also has a
Why
big
you say obese, rather?
yes, morbidly obese.
But he's
And also,
obese thing, right? Thing or obese.
And also a very big drawer to store the clothes of not only me and my brother, but also my parents. And
Ah,
and a study table just for me though, since my brother is an undergraduate.
okay. Yeah.
Also, an iMac, usually for study, but I don't use that for studying, even though they bought it for that purpose. I used it for another purpose. Gaming is gaming is that reason.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And also bookshelves full of comics that I've never read before.
Ah, okay. So, and then for part two, please describe a foreigner, not Vietnamese, okay, a foreigner. English speaking, the person from English speaking, a Korean, a Chinese, it's not Vietnamese, okay, foreigner. But this foreigner speaks your language very well. Remember the foreigner, but speak Vietnamese very well. If you don't know, you can make up the story. It's okay. As long as you can speak for 2 minutes for the examiners. Okay, so now the last topic for speaking part two, describe a foreigner. Okay, so can you start?
Well, I know this one funny man that has been best friend with me for many years. You wouldn't expect to meet him, but he's a pretty tall guy with a sleeky blonde hair and a pretty chill attitude. He's from Serbia, and is known for being an actor in many movies and plays. His name is Miloš Basojevic. I know him for many years ever since he visited my country 7 years ago. We've been neighbors for that number of years. Every day I would go to his house and study and talk to him through English. Sometimes whenever there's a party, he's always there. For the beer and the wine, but also but he can also speak Vietnamese to just interact with other party goers since he's been there for 7 years. And some whenever my friends want to like study for an English test, they want to speak to an actual foreigner. So that's why I always lead them to my best neighbor, my best neighbor Milosh, where he can speak English with them. And also Vietnamese. So if they're having problems,
Yeah, that's it. So remember, you have to focus on the part that he speak Vietnamese,
I know.
not he speak English. Okay, he speak Vietnamese. Okay. So now for speaking part three, okay, part three. In speaking part two, you describe a foreigner who speaks in Vietnamese very well. So
Yeah.
now, okay, let me ask some question regarding it. What are the benefits of the internet for people's learning?
Well, the internet is currently the best source for your education at the moment, since they have every single lessons captured in websites or YouTube videos for you to revise to, and a lot of free homework that you can do, and also some free tests that you can do if you're worried about your upcoming midterm exams. And the other benefit is that the internet has a wide variety of learning courses. Not many different learning courses that are different than that's of we learn it's at school. Like there could be learning courses about different about learning a new language or learning how to travel to other countries, etc. Some as and etc. Because the internet is pretty modernized. They pretty modernized as of the new the 21st centuries. You can expect to learn every single subject that you're supposed to learn at school, but at home now, like you don't even need to go to school. You can just study at home all the subjects, and you're good to go. You're good. And if my memory serves me right, I remember this one video on YouTube of a man teaching an entire Python coding course in over 24 hours, and he did that in one sitting. It shows how the internet has a storage full of information that you can imagine. You can.
Okay. So do you think the way people learn English today is the same as in the past?
Well, yes, it's been the same. They learn English in the book, and they speak English with foreigners.
Yeah.
No. But now that I think about it, it could be a bit different with the existence of the internet now, and because back in the days, kids learn new English words via their books or a dictionary. But now there's the internet. So why bother purchasing a dictionary where you could just go to a dictionary website instead, like Oxford, for example, like.
Okay.
And plus there's YouTube as always. You can just search for English lessons on YouTube, and they have plenty of them for you to learn.
Okay. So why are so many people learning English nowadays?
Because English is is such a vital language, and when it comes to education, since most students nowadays are planning to study abroad, usually in America, Canada, Australia, or the United Kingdom, which is why they gotta forbid their mother language and study the English language instead, and what. Which is why a lot of students are practicing for an Ielts test, like many of them in my class are doing that way now.
Okay. So how can you have children learn English?
Wait, what? Excuse me?
How can you have children learn English?
Well, if they're young children, I can encourage them in watching listening to nursery rhymes and learn new words through the lyrics of the song. Usually the lyrics has simple English words, so I think it's best. I think it's best for them to learn that way instead of just reading a book or listening to a boring listening question from a British man with a bland voice, like in most English CDs.
Okay, yeah, I see. And the last question. What foreign languages besides English do Vietnamese children learn?
Well, they've been well. I think it's got to be Korean.
Korean.
Due
Why?
due to the rise of, you guessed it, K-pop. because of these cute boy band from Korea and some more and some cool dancing villages banger songs that has been produced by K-pop. Many students, especially girls, has been studying Korean for many years just so they can go to Korea and meet their idol. But that's never gonna happen to them.
Okay, what do you think of K-pop?
Well, K-pop, it's overrated. Yeah, I get it. Their songs are good. And the band members are handsome and beautiful.
Yeah.
But that factor won't catch my eye. I only because it's just the drama is too overrated. I just don't like listening to their songs.